So the DLVO curve passes through a potential barrier, and the presence of this activation barrier defines the stability criteria of the colloidal state. If the maximum potential of the DLVO curve is greater than the thermal agitation, the system will be stable. Otherwise, it will be unstable and will lead to the formation of aggregate. In general, a colloidal is considered as stable if its potential barrier is greater than 15 kBt. Any change in the physical parameters modify the energy barrier and then the colloidal stability of the system. In some cases, a secondary energy minimum is present in the DLVO curve. For example, if you change the particle size for a system with constant zeta potential and ionic strength, you can observe the presence of a secondary clearly marked energy minimum in the DLVO curve for particles here with a radius of 150 nanometers. In DLVO curve, a secondary minimum is present if the attractive interaction has a greater range than the repulsive interaction. In the case of particles measuring 50 nanometers here, attraction has a shorter range than repulsion, with no secondary minimum present in the DLVO curve. However, for particles measuring 150 nanometers here, the range of van der Waals interaction increases and exceeds the attraction, thus causing the presence of the secondary minimum in the DLVO curve. The presence of a secondary minimum in DLVO curve of certain systems explains the phenomenon of flocculation. Some systems become energetically blocked in the secondary minimum, causing a reversible aggregation process. As the minimum energy reached is low, any input of thermal or mechanical energy will allow the system to redisperse and return to a dispersed state. Now, any change in the physical parameter of a system causes a modification of the total interaction curve of the system. For example, here, if we decrease the zeta potential of a system, and if you keep constant the other parameters, this causes a decrease in the range of value of the repulsive potential effect of the system. So, with the attraction potential remaining constant and the repulsion potential decreasing, a decrease in the zeta potential causes a significant decrease in the potential barrier of the total DLVO curve. The system therefore becomes less stable under standard conditions. Another important factor in the DLVO curve is the ionic strength of the solution, which can vary depending on salinity. If you add salt to a colloidal suspension, the counter-ion from the salt will screen the surface charge via the double layer organization of the solvent ions. The effect is a compression of the ion layer attached to the surface and therefore a decrease in the Debye length. For example, for particles with a radius of 50 nanometers and a zeta potential of 40 millivolts, the Debye length changes from 9.72 nanometers for an ionic strength of 1 millimolar in sodium chloride to 4.35 nanometers for an ionic strength of 5 millimolar in NaCl salt. Considering the equation of the repulsive potential of the system, depending on the Debye length, of course, a decrease in the Debye length results in a decrease in the range of value of the repulsive potential of the system. Therefore, the higher the salinity, the lower the repulsion potential of the system. as in the case of the zeta potential variation, an increase in salinity, therefore, leads to a significant decrease in the potential barrier in the total DLVO curve. The system, therefore, becomes less stable under normal conditions. So the addition of salt provoke a destabilization of the colloidal stability. So it's important to define the maximum of salt concentration acceptable for the system. So the critical salt concentration is defined as the concentration at which the repulsive potential cannot prevent aggregation of the system. As a first approximation, this is the case when the salt concentration completely neutralizes the surface, and it's obtained when the double length is equal to the particle radius. So in this case, the critical concentration salt is obtained by this following equation. For example, let us take sodium chloride salt add to a particle system with a radius equal to 50 nanometers. Considering the value of the following constant here, this given a critical salt concentration of sodium chloride equal to 0.038 mole per liter. Of course, this is an approximation because the equation proposed to determine the critical salt concentration does not depend on the value of the surface zeta potential, the van der Waals interaction, or the charge of cation from salt. The dependence of the critical salt concentration on the zeta potential, van der Waals interaction, and cation charge is given by the Schulz-Hardy law present here. As you can see, the critical salt concentration is inversely proportional to the cation charge that comes from the salts at the power of 6. The graph here shows the rapid decrease in the critical salt concentration for a system with a zeta potential of 20 mV as a function of the cation charge that comes from the salts. In conclusion, the DLVO theory shows that colloidal stability depends on the sum of the repulsive potential and the attractive potential between particles. The DLVO theory helps us to understand the existence of irreversible as well as reversible aggregation process, and this model explains the influence of variation parameters on the colloidal stability of colloidal system. Thank you for your attention. So, the DLVO curve passes through a potential barrier.